welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. We are so glad you stopped by today. Today I have a fun video for you, but first of all, if you're new, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my precious Oliver, and if you're returning, you know we love you. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster and my Waverly antique wax. I'm going to use some decals I created with my Cricut, along with these giant craft sticks I get at Walmart. I'm going to use this sign I got from Dollar Tree at Christmas time. And then I don't remember if I got these wood animals at Walmart or at Michael's, but one of them. And then 2 of these signs from Dollar Tree as well. So I start off by removing the hangers from the signs, laying them side by side, and then I'm using my craft sticks here with some wood glue and then some hot glue to connect them to make them one piece. And once I have that all done, I am going to take my ruler and a pencil, and I'm just tracing out some lines about a ½ an inch from the end, and I go all the way around my sign and do that because I want to create a border. So as soon as I have this all done, I took my paint tape here and I am laying it along those lines, and then I do that all the way around the sign. And then once that is done, I am going to paint it, the middle part, with my Plaster chalk paint along with that other sign there. I'm going to paint the whole thing with the Plaster. I did have to do the sign the small one, the middle, but a couple of times to cover that picture. Then once it was dry, I took my tape here and I moved it over, and then I added the antique wax all around the edge. And then I'm just using the antique wax all around the frame of the small picture, just like you see there. And I just taped it off in the middle because I am a very messy painter, and if I didn't do that, I could guarantee you I would have had it all over the inside of my picture. So then once that was done on this frame, I took a paper towel and I just wiped off the excess to it. And then but I did not do that to the big picture. Then I took that antique wax and I went over all 3 animals with the wax, just like you see me doing here. And then once I had them all covered, I'm just going to use my paper towel again to wipe off all the excess wax. Now, I know, you guys, that farmhouse doesn't necessarily mean decor, doesn't necessarily mean farm animals. And I don't know what it is, but I must really love the farm animals, because whenever I do farmhouse, I always want to include the animals. So if you're tired of seeing the animals, I am sorry. I will try to do some without. We do have another farmhouse video coming up in the beginning of June, but I can't promise you that I will not have animals. But I'll try. Okay, so I took my decal here. It says The Breakfast Club, and I'm just adding it to my little sign. And then I'm going to take some wood glue here and some hot glue, and I'm adding it all around those pumpkins, and then I'm going to add my sign. I was just trying to figure out there about how far I wanted to go with my glue. And then I'm going to add this plus the hot glue to add my sign. And I saw on Pinterest a sign, it had some chickens and it said The Breakfast Club. And this just kind of gave me this idea, and I thought, how fun would this be? So after I have this sign done, I'm going to start using wood glue and hot glue on my animals as well. And I just think this is so fun. This would be a great sign for your kitchen. It could be for anywhere, but I think this would be a great kitchen sign. Anyway, so taking my sweet time here. I'm just going to use the hot glue all around the edge of my animals, and then I'm just going to add it to the top of my picture. And I did this to all of the animals with the wood glue and the hot glue. Then I'm going to take my decals and I'm going to put eggs right next to the chicken, because, you know, we like to have eggs for breakfast. And then I'm going to put bacon right next to the pig, because you got to have bacon with eggs, right? And then I'm going to put milk by the cow. Now, I thought about putting them on the animals themselves, but the chicken had the wings and stuff on there that would have made it kind of hard to put eggs. So I put them on the side. So if you have some animals that don't have the little raised areas on them, you could do it on the animals themselves. Then I took some twine here. I took my braided jute cord that I get from Amazon, and I just hot glued it all the way inside that sign. And then I'm doing a finger bow, and I think I wrapped my fingers 4 or 5 times. I don't remember. But once I wrap it, or I wrap my fingers, I'm going to take that that end piece, wrap it around those loops that are on my finger, and then I'm going to come up around and go through the bottom of that middle loop and pull tight. And I keep my fingers in there, and I kind of use my thumb to help pull that tight. I press my thumb against that knot as I'm pulling, and then just trim it off. And I made 2 of those, and I'm going to hot glue 1 on each end. And then I'm going to take some more of that braided jute cord. Oh my goodness. I tied knots on the end, and then I'm just using my stapler here to add some staples for the hanger. And there it is. I really love this sign. I think it is so cute. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, I just want to take a moment to thank all my subscribers. You guys are awesome. I am getting really close to 14,000, and I'm so excited. So if you are new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. It costs you nothing, and it means the world to me. And then if you guys like to support my channel, you can give me that thumbs up, comment, watch the ads, and even share this video to someone you know might like it. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so here is DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint and the color Plaster. This rub-on transfer I got from Amazon. And then this sign I got after Easter from Hobby Lobby. It was like 90% off, so I got it for like $1. I'm going to just use my Plaster, and I'm just going over where it's already painted because I wanted to cover up those words. And I did have to paint it about 2 times to really get the words covered. And then once it was all dry, I took this little pig. I just thought it was adorable. And I'm just placing it where I want to lay it. And then I'm just going to rub and rub and rub. And look how fast I'm rubbing. I wish I was rubbing that fast in real life. But after I rub all the way around, then I'm going to start lifting the plastic transfer. And while I'm lifting, I'm just really watching. And if I see anything lifting, or if I feel it trying to come up, like what I'm trying to say, some resistance when I'm pulling it up, then I'll rub it a little bit more and then pull up. After that, I took these little Scrabble tile letters that I got in a huge bag of, I think like 500 of them from Amazon, and I spelt out the word Farm Sweet Farm, and I am just going to hot glue them onto my little picture here. And you guys, I absolutely love the way this came out. I think it is so adorable. Oh, I just love it. Anyways, I took some lamb's ear here that I had in my stash, and I'm just hot gluing some pieces down onto my sign. And I do hot glue the little leaves down too to keep them from getting in the way of the farm word there. And then once I have those all hot glued in place, I took some raffia. I had tied some raffia around it, but it just was not holding very tightly. So here I'm just trimming, I'm cutting where I had folded the raffia. And here I'm just like, okay, this is not holding very well. So I took some twine, and I'm just going to wrap it around the middle again and tie a knot in it, and that held it tight much better. And then after that, I'm just going to kind of trim off the ends, make it all even, because it just looks very wild there. And once I had both ends all trimmed and even, I am going to hot glue it right in the middle of those lamb's ears. Then I took some more twine and made another finger bow, and burnt my finger trying to put it on there. Anyways, I added that to the middle, and that's all I did for that one. And I absolutely love this picture. I just think it came out so adorable. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, here's DIY number 3. So on this DIY, I am going to use 2 of these coffee containers that I had in my stash. I'm going to use some of these my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. Thought I was going to show the wood first. And then these wood planks from Dollar Tree. Then I'm going to use this decal I created with my Cricut and this little milk cutout shape. I don't know. Got that from Dollar Tree. Anyways, I started off by removing that bow, and then I painted the back side of it with my Plaster color. After it was all painted and dried, I took my decal here and I am just adding it to the front of my little milk bottle. Then I took 4 of these wood planks and I am making a box out of them, and I taped those in so I could take this piece and stick it in, and then I am drawing a line where I want to cut it. Then I took them outside and cut them down using my miter saw, and then I'm going to use some wood glue and hot glue to start putting them together, and I'm just putting it along the edge here, and then I'm going to add the side to that, and then I went around and put some more along this side of it and added the wood glue, hot glue, and added my little piece to it. And then I did the same thing on the other side. And then on the back side, I put the wood glue on the bottom of this piece, and then I put wood glue and hot glue along the edges of the sides of it so that it all connects together. After that, I took my Plaster chalk paint and I painted my little box, my little crate, and then the glass jars. And I painted the glass jars by taking a sponge brush and I'm just dabbing. I'm going all the way around and dabbing this. This really helps eliminate any brush strokes that you might see on when you're painting over glass. Sometimes you get those brush strokes. And so once they were dry, I then took my brush and painted over it just to give you a little more of a smoother surface. After I was done with that, I took my wood glue here and hot glue, put it on the bottom part of my sign, and I'm just going to connect that to the back part of my crate, right on the top edge of it. And then for added stability, I got some little craft sticks I had also painted, and I'm hot glued them and used wood glue to the front and the back so that it would hold better. Then I took this sponge brush and I am taking my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I am just going all the way around the edge of my bottle just to give it that enamel look. And then I decided to do that along the crate too. So I'm just going to go all the way around the top part of the crate with that brush and just kind of rubbing, as you can see, on the side of it, and it just gives it a really nice look. Then after that, I decided to do that along both of the glass bottles as well. And so I'm just going to do that here. Now, if you don't have these kinds of glass bottles, you can find some of the smaller vases at Dollar Tree that would work well too. Then I had an issue, guys. I thought, oh, I want to put something in the front of this crate. And so I created this decal, but it was not wanting to pull up with my transfer tape and off of the courier page, paper, whatever you call it. Anyway, so my 5 was a little bent up there, so I had to fix it. So I finally just kind of played around with it a little bit and got it on there. And then as I'm editing, I realized I forgot to put the little lines over the C to make sense. So I'm going to have to go do that. But anyways, then I took some twine here and I'm wrapping it around the neck of our milk bottle. And once I have it all wrapped, I'm going to hot glue the end to the back there, just like you see me doing. And then I'm going to take that bow that I took off of it and I'm just going to hot glue it right back on in place. Then I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to hot glue that all the way around the front and the back part of my little crate. I did not do the sides. I just felt like the sides really didn't need it, so I just did the front and the back. Then once I was done with that, I'm going to take my bottles here and I'm going to wrap some twine around them. I'm just going to hot glue that twine there and then just wrap it around the neck until it comes all the way to the top. And then I'm just going to, of course, hot glue the end to the top of my bottle as well. Now, when I put these bottles in, I know that it kind of covers some of the saying. It's kind of hard to see a little bit of it. And I really went back and forth on whether or not I should add some flowers. Here I just made a couple more bows there. But I just felt like it needed flowers. So I do know that it does cover up the words a little bit. But I did also cover up the back part with some shipping paper, just like you see here. And then here is where I added the flowers. I tried to press them in and not let them be too tall or bushy to cover the words. But anyways, I still think it looks cute. And I think you can pretty much figure out what it says. But you have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreation. And Gina, when I did my Mother's Day video, I recreated her little ladder there, but she sent me that picture again because she added a rooster and it looks great. And then she did that windmill and she did an awesome job. And Jane, she made these sweet bee DIYs, so cute. Thank you, Jane. And then Victoria made all of these wood rounds and wreath. Oh my goodness, girl, you've been busy. I love them all. Thank you, ladies. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, and I would be more than happy to showcase them for you. I always enjoy seeing what other people are making. So here's DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I'm going to use this rustic rooster calendar that I got from Hobby Lobby at the beginning of the year, or the end of last year, I think, in December. And then this plate I just got from this charger from Hobby Lobby as well. It was $2. I started out by cutting along the round, this outer, I don't know what you call it, the outer ring of this middle piece, I guess. But it ended up still being too big. So I did end up having to cut all around that rooster on the inside part of the red part of that sign. I had to cut it down just even a little bit more than that. So once I had it to the right size, I went around the middle part with my Mod Podge, and I'm just going to cover it all with my Mod Podge, and then I'm going to add my rooster sign here to it, and there you go. And then once I had that all on and smoothed out, I'm just going to cover it with Mod Podge again, and then I set it aside to dry. And I did not, normally when I do this, I let it dry and then add my picture and then do my heat press. But because the calendar pages are thicker, I didn't think I would need to do it that way, but it did have a few wrinkles. So I just, once it was dry, I went ahead with my parchment paper and my heat press and added the heat press to it. That way it got rid of the wrinkles. Then I took some of this red and tan twine that I got from Dollar Tree, and I hot glued it around my picture right along the edge of the calendar page, but I just felt like it wasn't thick enough. So I went over it a second time. So basically there's 2 layers of the twine, and I'm just hot gluing it all the way around. And then that's all there was. I'm going to cut it off, and that one is done. But then I decided to make a bow. So I took this ribbon. I got this ribbon at the this last fall at Walmart. I think I got this at Christmas time last year at Walmart, or the year before. I'm making 2 bows by doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching them up in the middle. I'm taking some more of that twine, and I'm going to tie it in a knot to keep the shape of the bows. And then I'm going to wrap that extra part of the twine all the way around the middle of my bow here. I just thought it would tie in with the twine that went around the charger. And then I just tied a knot at the back of that and trimmed off the excess. And then I am going to dovetail all 4 of the ribbon tails here. Then I took some Boxwood greenery and some lamb's ear, and I cut them down, and I'm going to use them on my charger here. And I decided instead of gluing these down, I'm going to, I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I cut that part out. I am going to use a zip tie here from Dollar Tree, and I am going to zip tie those greenery pieces to the back of my bow. That way, when I hot glue it, I can just hot glue one big piece to my charger instead of trying to hot glue all the little pieces together. After that, I took some of these beads that I had in my stash. The red ones came from Christmas garland from Walmart, beaded garland. And I made a little hanger with some jute twine, and I'm just going to hot glue it to the back. Now, if you make something like this, I would recommend using like E6000, a more permanent hold. I will probably go back over that, but for video purposes, I just use the hot glue. And there it is. You'll have to let me know what you think about this. I love how this came out. I love those chargers. I think they're so pretty. Okay, here's DIY number 5. Now, you guys, oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to use this napkin I got from DECOUPAGENapkin.com. I love their napkins. Check them out if you're in the need for any napkins. That sign came from Dollar Tree, and then my Waverly chalk paint in the color crimson. So I'm going to remove the home sign. It just has 2 little screws, so I'm just unscrewing them. I'm going to save them for an upcoming video. And then I just painted the back with my crimson. Now, after that, I am going to cut all the way around this cow. Now, I could have done the water method, but I didn't want the blue to show. And I just wanted the black part of the cow, just the whole cow. So this is a little bit of an issue. If you want to recreate something like this, and if you have these napkins, I would suggest doing white background. Because after I had this all cut out and I removed both plies from behind it, I'm going to Mod Podge it on. So I'm going to cover the whole thing here with Mod Podge, which is fine. Everything's working great. I'm not thinking though, because when I lay down after that Mod Podge dried, I laid down my cow and got it where I wanted it. I put the parchment paper over it, used my heat press to secure it, and then I covered it again. Well, no, I didn't. I used my finger sander there to get the excess off. Then I cover it again with my Mod Podge, and then I let it dry. And after it dried, I'm like, wait a minute. The nose, you can see the red everywhere where it was white or light colored. You could see the red coming through. So I thought, what if I just took a little paintbrush and blotted some white around, which it looks okay. After I started editing this, I thought, oh, I shouldn't have done white on the nose. I should have just left the nose the way it was, because the nose is a little pink anyways, but I wasn't thinking, so I just went along with my little paintbrush, and I'm just kind of pouncing the paintbrush up and down, trying to blend in where the white would have been, but it now looks red because of the red background. And then I did the same around the eyes and around the ear. I did take a little bit of black paint and do the nostrils, just kind of the nostrils and the nose to just highlight it a little bit better. But now I'm just like looking at it thinking, it looks more like a goat than it does a cow. I don't know. You have to let me know what you think. So I took a white metallic paint pen from Dollar Tree, and I just wrote the word hello. I did go over it a second time. And then I took some more raffia like I did on the previous one, hot glued it, and then made another bow and hot glued that down. And there it is. I think it's really cute. Kind of looks like a goat though to me. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Again, if you do something like this, use white behind it. Oh my goodness. Anyways. Okay, so here is the final reveal, you guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. I did a poll and asked what you guys wanted to see, and the majority of you said farmhouse. So I did farmhouse, which I was happy to do because I love it. Again, don't forget to give me that thumbs up before you go and comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button before you go. And then share this video with people you think might like it as well. I'm planning on having another nautical video on Thursday. So even if you don't like nautical, please watch it. It just helps me. Even if you're not watching it, let it run in the background. And then with all that being said, you guys, I will see you on Thursday. So have a blessed one. Bye-bye.